A catalog of recent news information across federal ministries is next on Ministry News. The Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, has said that the federal government is going ahead with establishing a national carrier despite the subsisting suit challenging the project. The minister will disclose government's position during a stakeholders appreciation forum for the reconstruction of Lagos Airport Runway 18L, insisted that aviation stakeholders and unions had sufficient time to participate in the process and cannot see the possibility that any court of competent jurisdiction will erect a roadblock to the emergence of the national carrier. The Minister of Transportation, Muazu Sambo, in his delivered speech at the second International Railway Conference in Abuja, organized by the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Federal Ministry of Transportation, has disclosed the federal government's readiness to carry out feasibility studies on 3,658 kilometers railway routes across the country, considered viable for development. The minister will also noted efforts to improve and sustain intra- and intercity mass transit railway services in state capitals along the rail corridor.
When the country is fully committed to developing the railway transportation sector to provide alternative mode and also complement other modes of transportation.
And meanwhile, in another development, the Minister of State for Transportation, Prince Ademola Adegoroye, has promised to facilitate the support of government to female professional and commercial drivers in the country. The Minister of State made the promise on Wednesday in Abuja when he received the leadership of Female Drivers Association of Nigeria (FIDAN) in his office. He said that female commercial drivers are special and must be encouraged to flourish in their chosen profession, promising to look into the request of the association to have female professional drivers employed into the Ministry of Transportation. The Federal Executive Council has approved 8.377 billion naira contracts for printing and other necessary materials at the National Examination Council (NECO), as well as the perimeter fencing of Usman Dan Fodio University, Sokoto. The Minister of Education, Malam Adamu disclosed this to newsmen after the FEC meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari.
The National Examination Council (NECO) for the printing of sensitive and non-sensitive materials, which was given to about, I think, 8 contractors in the sum of 5,107,364,373 naira 62 kobo.
The federal government has launched a project that will support Nigerian youth and nurture 2,500 trees across the federation. Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dari said this on the sidelines of the ongoing United Nations Climate Change Conference. In a press statement made available to TV Nigeria by the spokesman of the Ministry of Environment, Akintunde Martins, the Federal Minister of Environment and the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development have forged a common ground to acknowledge, intensify, and harmonize the contributions of young people to mitigating climate change in Nigeria.
Today we will be announcing and launching what we call Project 250K. Project 250K. That is, we're going to work with our youth, 250,000 youth across the country. We already have global partners to plant 250,000 trees. To nurture it, every tree that is planted, we expect that you will get one extra ambassador. You tell another youth about the tree you planted. So it's Project 250K. We hope to end up with 500K. Thank you very much.
The Federal Minister of Science and Technology and Innovation, Dr. Adeleke Mamora, has disclosed that the federal government has put in place mechanisms to combat the effects of handling toxic materials by unskilled chemical practitioners in the country by formulating a policy document that will sanitize the system. The minister, who spoke in Kano on Friday during a two-day stakeholders validation workshop on a draft national policy on chemical technology document, said the President Muhammadu Buhari has mandated the ministry to create ideas about strengthening the populace and draft policies that will empower entrepreneurs in the country, especially in the teeming populace that are out of job, and also to safeguard the health and lives of chemical practitioners in Nigeria. The federal government has approved a national policy on welding and welding-related fields and its urgent implementation as part of the efforts to fast-track industrialization and sustainable development in Nigeria. The Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Adeleke Mamora, revealed this in Kano State at the Northwest Zonal Dialogue between government and stakeholders in the science, technology and innovation ecosystem on the establishment and implementation of technology and innovation centers. The minister, who was represented by the Director, Chemical Technology Department, and the Senior Special Assistant to the Minister, Mr. Mej Basi, explained that the approval of the policy would address the present situation where many Nigerians have to outsource welding jobs due to the emphasis placed on foreign welding certification. The federal government has disclosed monumental debts of approximately 5.2 trillion naira from over 5,000 debtors across 10 ministries, departments and agencies. The discovery was made through the debt analytics and reporting application under the project Lighthouse of the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. The Director Special Projects in the ministry, Victor Omota, who disclosed this in Lagos at the Southwest Zonal Sensitization Workshop on the federal government debt recovery drive through the Project Lighthouse program, said the debt aggregation effort is still ongoing as the government is determined to improve its revenue by leveraging big data technology to help block revenue loopholes, identify new revenue, especially non-oil revenue, as well as improve fiscal transparency. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, under the National Livestock Transformation Plan on Wednesday, unveiled and inaugurated the National Animal Identification and Traceability System for Nigeria to identify and track livestock nationwide. The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mahmood Abubakar, who disclosed this in Abuja at the inauguration of the system, said it is a strategy to address the socio-economic and security challenges bedeviling the livestock sector and that of data for proper planning, among others. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umaru Farouk, has visited Bayelsa and Delta states to commiserate with the government on the flood disaster which destroyed farmlands, property and livelihoods. The minister at the Government House in Yenegua on Tuesday said that apart from the 12,000 metric tons of grains already distributed to states affected by the floods, as approved by President Muhammadu Buhari, the federal government through the ministry has delivered 3 consignments of food and non-food items to Bayelsa State since July 2022.
As a second response to the earlier response that the federal government through my ministry did when the floods happened, my team, NEMA, and your team worked together to support the affected communities as first responders.
And finally, on ministry news, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Issa Pantami, disclosed that the information communication technology ICT sector generated about 1.5 trillion naira over the past 3 years through the Nigerian Communications Commission. The minister disclosed this during the 2022 budget implementation and 2023 budget defense held at the instance of the Joint House Committees on Communications and ICT and Cybersecurity, led by Honorable Akim Adeyemi, as well as Senate Committees on Communications.